It's your boy Dru. Pop a bottle cause we got another hit.
What up, Mike? Toronto. VK on the beat. Check. I'm in Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm from Toronto where you wanna get the city love. I'm in Toronto like we wanna get the city love. My city love me back for my city love.
Welcome to episode 1616 of Toronto Mic'd. Proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. Building Toronto's Skyline, a podcast and book from Nick Iones. And Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today, making his Toronto Mic debut, is Juno award-winning R&B icon, the Prince of R&B. Not to be confused with the Prince of Darkness. It's Dru.
Yes, sir.
What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Dru.
What a pleasure it is to be here, my friend.
I don't know if we've ever talked, but I have, I've put you on the Humble and Fred show in the past.
Oh, yes, okay.
So you've been on that show a few times.
Yes, those are my guys there.
Okay, well, they're cooler guys than I am, so I hope your expectations were lowered for this. But how you doing? How's 2025 been treating you?
2025 has been a blessing, man. It started off with a bang. You know, we ended 2024 with the last Residency show, the Christmas show, and started the new year with a new location. We're uptown now, so we're in Richmond Hill at Joker Theater.
Right.
And yeah, man, this is just, I'm excited to be hitting a different area, and we're hitting a whole different audience. And I've wanted to move around. We've been at Aqua Supper Club for the past year. Shout out to Aqua Supper Club, who gave Soul Nostalgic, my ensemble, a chance.
I love how you get right into it.
I got right into it.
Go ahead, because we'll revisit this, of course. But
Yes.
You're celebrating the 1 year anniversary of your Soul Nostalgic residency on February 14th. Why does that name sound like it's important? I feel like that's an important day, February 14th. But,
yeah, it could be.
That's okay. Well, look, I see you brought your wife with you, so this is a special day for you too, I'm sure. Okay, so Valentine's Day, Richmond Hill, is the 905 ready for you, Dru?
I think so. I think they've been waiting for me.
Are you sure?
Yes, they've been waiting for us.
Okay, so maybe we tell people how they can attend this show on February 14th, 2025, this 1 year anniversary. And then you're going to let me go on a journey with you, man. We're going to hold hands. I need to know more things about Dru, and then we'll revisit this at the end.
Of course.
So this is Soul Nostalgic Quiet Storm.
Yes, so Soul Nostalgic is the name of my band. And this is the Valentine's Day edition entitled Quiet Storm, A Love Story.
Okay, wow. It's getting hot in here. Okay, Quiet Storm, A Love Story, Valentine's Day edition. And if somebody wants to get tickets to this show, it's a beautiful day. It's Valentine's Day, for goodness sakes. Where would you send them to get some tickets?
Go to soulnostalgic.com and click on tickets. It's very simple.
See, I feel like if you're on another show, I don't know, breakfast television or whatever, it's now over. Like, that was it. You came over, we saw you, you're a handsome guy, we got the pitch, this is going on February 14th, and we'd say goodbye. But now that's like the warm-up. We're just getting started here. Did you know, and I'm curious about your current relationship with this guy, this is the home of the real talk, so don't hold back on me here, but Sean Jones was here in the summer.
Yes.
Do you know this guy, Sean Jones?
I sure do. We were in a group together for many years.
Okay, that was In Essence. Would you mind if we go back and because my wife, who is not feeling great, actually, otherwise I feel like she'd be sitting down here with us, but she was a big In Essence fan, and I'm wondering if we could get the origin story of In Essence here.
Oh, definitely. You're taking us back.
Well, let's go back, man. The good old days.
Okay.
Okay, when Trump was just some guy on the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, man. In essence, wow. Like it was, first of all, I grew up a really shy kid. So I knew I wanted to sing. I think I was 7 or 8 when I signed up for a church talent show.
You got good pipes. I'm listening in the headphones. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Did you have to smoke to get those pipes?
I do smoke.
Okay, honestly.
Yeah, now
that's the
after these years, smoking a little bit of something. Anyway.
Okay, smoke them if you got them.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted to. No, where was I?
You're a shy guy.
I was a shy kid. I was around 7 or 8, and I wanted to sign up for a talent show, church talent show, because my older brother told me that my older brother overheard me singing Temptations' "My Girl," the Jackson 5 edition.
Okay.
With my high-pitched voice at 7 and 8 years old, he's like, Andrew, like my brother that would clown me usually actually said, I think you might have some talent here. So,
That means you must be very talented.
Yes, for him to be able to say that out of his face, yes, at that time. So I signed up for the church talent show, rehearsed for I don't know, it felt like, now looking back, it felt like a couple months. And then when showtime came, couldn't do it. Backed out.
Too shy.
I couldn't get the nerve to do it. I was a stuttering kid. It was very difficult for me. I was a very shy kid, painfully shy. Yeah. So when I started in high school, I knew I wanted to sing, but I'm like, I can't do it alone. If I can have my boys with me, if I can put a crew around me, maybe I can pull off standing on stage in front of people and actually sing something.
What high school is this?
St. Francis Xavier, Mississauga.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
West End, love it. Okay.
Yes, I'm a Saga boy, Mississauga boy.
Okay.
Definitely.
More 905 action here.
Yes, that's right.
Home of Palma Pasta, by the way. And because we said 905, I'll just let you know, you're not leaving here without a frozen lasagna. It's in my freezer.
Hell yes.
Look at this. Your wife is happy.
To Palma. Oh, yeah. She knows all about that, actually.
Is she Italian? Are you Italian?
No. Chilean.
Just okay. You know what?
I go to Palma all the time.
Okay, you do. Listen,
yes.
Your wife goes to Palma Pasta all the time.
Yes.
Okay, which location?
The one in Mississauga, Central Parkway, and the big one.
That's called Palma's Kitchen.
Yes.
We have live events. Drew, look me in the eyes. Your husband has nice eyes.
Oh, thank you.
I'm flirting with him, not you, okay? Because I don't want him to beat me up, so I'm going to flirt with him. Palma's Kitchen, this location we're talking about, every single year, usually late November, I have a live event there where
sick.
Palma Pasta feeds you. Great Lakes Brewery will give you a drink of beer. I'm going to give you beer. We're going to crack one open in a moment.
We sure are.
Like super soon. And I record live. You literally, if you're around next late November or early December, you should come to Palma's Kitchen, jump on the mic, and maybe sing us a little Christmas song or something.
Hey, who knows what could happen?
Okay, well, look, your boss
got a
over
year to
here
work
says
on
you're
it.
going to do it. She gave me a thumbs up. Okay, so let's crack the beer and we'll continue with the origin
Let's
story.
do it.
Okay, so what do you got? A lager? Okay, on the mic.
I got a lager, yeah. Premier Lager, Great Lakes Brewery.
Oh, yeah, you're good at that. Okay, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, cheers to you, Drew. So you got what? You met some buds who could also sing? What's going on in Mississauga? Then?
Yeah, man. So there was a St. Francis Xavier talent show. And I was like, can I get the nerve to do something like this? I really want to do it. So I actually sang with 2 other people, Maurizio and Ron Moffitt, back in the day. We did Can You Stand the Rain by New Edition. Yes. And so my part was Ralph Tresvant's part. And of course, I thought of a great idea. Oh, let me walk out when his part starts. So they do the Johnny Gill starts the first part. On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. That's not possible. Tell me, can you weather a storm? Oh. So then I come out thinking I could walk, but I'm so nervous, my friend. My legs are trembling like a twig. I got the nerve to push myself to do it. Pushed myself onto the stage. Sorry,
okay.
I moved away from
got
the mic.
nerve. That's okay.
And I came out doing that because I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. You always be right there. And that's where it started, man. That was like the crowd went. My classmates had never heard me sing. So They were like, "Is that
They
Andrew
were
Grange up there?"
blindsided. They go like, well, what the heck is that?
Like, what's going on?
Wow.
And when I heard the audience, that's when I was like, this feels pretty good. Like, I got through it. The following year was when I started to piece the group together. So there was a group that sang at that same talent show named Versatile Swing.
Okay.
And I saw them backstage. I saw when they came in, they all went and got McDonald's before they performed. All came in with their outfits on. And I was kind of backstage looking at them like, that's kind of cool. Like, they're a real group. Like, they had the same outfits. And, you know, if, like, to me back then, I'm like, these guys are like Boys to Men. These guys are like a real group. There was one guy that used to work with them that wanted to be in their group so bad, named Oba Hyacinth. And his name grew into the name Touch. That was a member of In Essence. He started the group. He came to me first after this talent show. So after he heard me at the talent show, he came to me and he's like, you know, would you ever think about being in a group?
He's recruiting you, man.
Yes. And I didn't even think about it. I said yes, right away.
Wow.
Like where do I sign type of thing. And then me and him started to look for the other members. So we went to Xavier. We heard about a couple singers that sang at Father Michael Gates, right? And Michael Pope was the guy from Gates. So we went and met with him briefly, and we heard about each other through like different girls that went to the school. Oh yeah, Mike Pope sings, and he's so cute, and this and that. So we're like, okay, let's go meet this guy. We meet Mike Pope. Good-looking dude, has that nice high-pitched falsetto that we need for the harmony. I'm like, okay, this would be good. Me and Oba were like, yeah, you know what? This could work. Mike says, I sing with someone. I sing with this guy named Sean Jones. And he goes to Clarkson. And he's like, he has this Johnny Gill vibe. And good looking. The girls love him. He's a good looking dude. And I was like, yo, we got to meet this guy. So at that time, there was another singer. Oh, my goodness. I'm forgetting the other guy's name that was there before Sean Jones.
You know, he's listening right now.
I know.
He's pretty pissed.
Yes. So anyway, we didn't keep him. We moved on. I'll just keep the story
He didn't
moving.
make the cut.
He didn't make the cut. We met Sean Jones at the bus terminal at Square One when it was in the front.
Okay.
By the Burger King.
Yeah.
We're like, wow, this guy's tall, good-looking dude. He was on his way to work. He worked at the Cineplex. Which one? In Clarkson, don't remember which one. Anyway, he was on his way to work, so he was rushing. He was about to go on the bus, and he started singing, "Put on your red dress and slip on those high heels, some of that sweet perfume. My, Johnny Gill. My. You know, my mouth hit the floor. I was like, what the heck is this? And so it was 4 of us.
Yeah.
Right? And we all said we would meet up, and there was one other friend he had a car at the time, so he was the one that would drive us around. Stephen Brown.
Okay.
He had no business being in a singing group at all. He never thought he would. He had a nice, light, low voice that would work for the bass. So we're like, you know what? Let's put him in the group. I took it upon myself to say I'll tell him what to do. I'll kind of coach him through. You know, the bass's job is easy. Come on, I can show him something. So that's how he got in the group. And to this day, he thanks me for that because he had the time of his life, and he never expected that he would be in a group.
Okay, but there must be thousands of bands that get together in high school, you know, be it Mississauga or elsewhere. But my wife, who was born and raised in Edmonton, doesn't know all the words to songs that these bands have, performed. Like, so what is it that allowed In Essence to break through?
That's a really good question. I mean, we are all of Jamaican descent, and we're all very determined. We're leaders. Like, we bucked heads constantly because we're just all leaders. And we have, like, I don't know if it's our ego or
drive.
I mean, I feel like it was our ego that kind of drove that in a way. Like, we're very determined to make something happen. And myself in particularly, I'm the youngest in the group.
Okay. So
I was always kind of like, I kind of had to take my position as the leader, even though I was the youngest. So there was stuff like Pops, Michael Pope, his nickname's Pops. He was into basketball at the time when we put the group together, and he would miss rehearsals because of basketball practice. Right? So, yeah, Marjorie knows the story. So I asked him, like, are you going to be Michael Jordan? Do you think you're Michael Jordan, bro? Those are my exact words. He's like, oh, well, I'm like, if you think you're Michael Jordan, go play basketball. But if you're not trying to be Michael Jordan and we're trying to be the biggest group in the world, let's focus on this. And imagine, I'm the youngest in the group. At that age, I'm 16.
Right.
And they were 18, 17, 18.
Right.
They're like, who's this kid? Who's this kid talking to like this? But that was kind of an example of how I think that was kind of the reason on why we pushed through and kind of made this name for ourselves. Was that was a part of the determination. Like, we're going to put in the work. We're going to step away from anything else we're doing that you're not going to be the biggest thing in the world at. And this is our chance to be the biggest at something.
But Drew, that's not enough, right? Like, you could be a talented singer. You guys could all gel, write great songs. But so much of this business industry is business. And a lot of that is just the game is rigged.
Yeah.
Okay, so somehow, I mean, so let me ask you some basic questions. I got to play some In Essence, drink that Great Lakes beer. How is that Great Lakes beer, by the way, Drew?
It is so refreshing.
And are you Drew at this time? You Andrew still when you're starting In Essence?
So In Essence, we all thought of nicknames, and we kind of went through this process. This was before.
Do you want your own beer? Okay, she says she's okay.
I think she might want one.
Because I can get you even a light lager if you want. Like, once I start the song, I can just run up and get you a beer. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I sold her on the Great Lakes. Okay, that's $6. Just tap the machine over there. Tap. Okay. All right.
Sorry.
So no, but like, you got representation. How do you even get a record deal nowadays? I won't even ask you about nowadays. I think it's a complete shitstorm now. But even back then, though, how did you get a Juno award?
Okay.
Did In Essence win a Juno award?
We won a Juno award. Yes.
Where is that Juno award right now?
It is on my shelf in our shelving
in your home
unit in our home. Yes.
Okay, so it's on display.
Yes, but my parents had it for many, many years until I.
Did you have to pay for it? I had a guy over here recently who won a Juno.
I think we did have to,
and he had to pay.
Yes, there's a cost that you put up.
Can I tell you that's bullshit?
Well, that's
right?
That's only one little piece of the bullshit in this music.
Well, that's nothing. You're here. Look, we want everyone who gives even if you like R&B a little bit. Okay, This is going to be a lovely night for love, Valentine's Day in Richmond Hill, okay? Yes. You heard the man sing a moment ago. I'm just telling the dudes out there, even the gals, everybody, this is just going to work for you, okay? Get tickets, go see this. We'll talk more about that at the end. But you got to give me the real scoop here. I'm going to play some In Essence. I'm going to grab your wife a beer. And then you got to tell me the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, like, are you sure we only have an hour? Because...
Well, whatever, actually, my next recording is with... Ridley Funeral Home. So we'll go as long as it takes to make me a cadaver there for Ridley Funeral Home. So can I play one of your big hits?
Let's do it.
Love this song. And then I'm going to run up and grab a beer. Here we go.
Say whoa, 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 boy. Check it out, y'all. Say whoa, 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 boy. Check it out. Say whoa, 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 boy. Say whoa, 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 boy. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another love to make you come and when it's done. You'll never find another lover like mine. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another lover like mine. You will never find another love to make you come and when it's done. You'll never find another lover like mine. I was at 233rd and White Plains. Me and my boy, we was riding the train. I saw you.
Okay. So is that, you're talking about Palma Pasta? She's very excited about the pasta. Okay, now you got a Great Lakes. Drew, this jam, man.
Yep.
Did this win you a Juno?
This won us a Juno, yes. It helped the album.
Okay.
Because we won a Juno for the Master Plan, the album, and this was the biggest single off that album.
What GTA radio, what Toronto radio stations were playing this song back in the day?
Kiss, Flow, 103.5, every major station. This was in rotation. 99.9. Did I say it already? Virgin. Yeah, man. It was across the board. This definitely launched In Essence. Definitely.
I'll bet. Okay,
man.
so then what next? I mean, we're gonna obviously wrap up In Essence and get to your solo career, but why
so
aren't
much
you
within
guys like?
Essence.
Why aren't you? I don't know who to point to. Boys to Men, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of my biggest groups that I looked at. I wanted to be as big as Boyz II Men. I wanted to be as big as Jodeci, you know. And like you said, the music industry, man, it's an interesting place. So,
Okay, elaborate. Like, were you promised things that weren't delivered? Were you, I don't know, given money and then told, oh, by the way, you have to pay that back? Like, I'm just curious what happened along the way.
nah, the rug was kind of pulled out from underneath us in a way. Like, that's why I said, do you only have an hour? Because there's, we got signed. Everything that happened to In Essence looks like, if you were just on the outside looking in, it was everything just kind of fell into place and happened by chance.
Right.
But, and I guess it did, but, like, okay, we got signed to BMG Canada because we replaced Glenn Lewis on a Ghetto Concept song called Rest in Peace. Right? So it was Ghetto Concept's first big single when they got signed to BMG. So that was our introduction to BMG. It was on the set of that video shoot that we saw the president and the vice president. At the time, it was Lisa Zabitnu was the president.
Okay.
And Keith Porteous was the vice president.
Okay.
They were on set. We're like, okay, we're gonna corner them and we're gonna sing a cappella for them right now. Just an example of our determination. So
Why not?
we literally cornered them, sang I don't remember what we sang. We sang something a cappella though. And Lisa Zabitnu was blown away. Keith Porteous was like trying to bring out stuff to roll for us. He was like, oh my goodness, like, what do you guys need? You guys need drinks? Let's talk some business. That was the introduction to BMG, and it was maybe months later that we were officially signed. So just so you know the story of how we actually got our deal.
Okay, now what does that mean, signed? Like, are they like, do you literally have to sign on the dotted line? Do you have a lawyer look over this thing and I don't know, how are you compensated? I'm looking
Yes.
for the real gritty details
yeah,
here.
No, so they told us they wanted to sign us.
Okay.
And before signing us, we went right in the studio. So we hadn't signed anything yet. We're in the studio.
Okay.
We wrote a song called IE.
Yeah,
which
another
was
big
our
jam.
first single, and that was our first official single. That was released before we had signed on the dotted line. Lisa Zabitnu's daughter, who was 13 at the time, heard the song after we did it as just a demo, and she's like, "Oh my God, what is this?" They rushed it to put it out. It wasn't until we released a song. We were on the set of the video for a song called "Friend of Mine."
Yeah, another big one.
That was when the process had begun before we were on set for that video shoot of the contracts. So we were presented with the contracts after we did the video for IE, I think. We were presented with the contracts.
But how are you compensated if you're already rolling out videos before you've signed anything?
Well, you don't get paid to shoot videos.
You pay to shoot videos.
Well, they paid.
So the label paid, and not one of these, I keep hearing about these deals where it's like, yeah, the label paid for the video, but we had to pay them out of the back end or whatever. Like,
Right. So
we had to pay them back.
Yeah. So when you sign a deal,
Okay.
there's a budget that's allotted for you as an artist. And there's a budget that's allotted for a budget to get videos done, to shoot to get to work radio, for travel, for
Like a promotional budget or
promotional budget. And then there's promotional budget, and then there's the budget for recording, studio time,
Right.
all that stuff.
Right.
So they took the initiative to cover the video. We actually flew to Cuba to shoot that video, which for us being our first video, we're like, holy, like, this is crazy.
Yeah, not
We're
too shabby.
Superstars. We're traveling to Cuba to shoot our first video. But we still we shouldn't have done any of that without having a contract. We shouldn't.
Right.
We really shouldn't have done.
You're so damn young,
anything.
right?
We were so young.
Stars in your eyes.
We were just so excited.
Yeah.
Right. So if we had a manager at that time, they probably would have said, "No, we're not going to shoot a video. Like, what's the contract? What are we
Right.
doing here?"
Right.
So that was the process after we shot the video for IE. Then we brought on management, and then the negotiation started.
Where do you find management? Like, you pick up the yellow pages, you go to M, music management.
You know what? I feel like I've been in this industry for 30 years, and I still haven't really found a real manager yet.
I feel like I mean, if I I don't know, one of my kids has a great voice. I'm like, I think I'm going to start with, I need a conversation with like Jake Gold or something, or Farley Flex or somebody. Farley Flex, maybe.
Farley Flex worked with
only
us.
because I got the Maestro 12 inches over here.
Farley was our last manager.
Okay.
Farley Flex was in essence his last manager.
See, there you go. But at least he has some experience in that world, and he was behind Flow, and Flow launched.
Yeah, he was, but I got love for Farley, but we keep it real here, right? We keep it real.
Okay, yeah, real talk.
He let us down too.
Okay.
He was more focused on his tailored suits and his
They're nice suits, though.
Canadian Idol, his
Right.
beautiful suits, and being a star himself.
Right, his own brand.
Yeah, and that was kind of the end of that was at the end of In Essence. He was the last manager.
So this original management that you got,
Yes.
I don't know, where does this? You don't remember? I take it.
It was through. It must have been from a show or something. I don't really remember how we met her.
I just feel like, again, I've never been in the music industry, but now you're episode 1616, like 1616. I have
I like
talked
those
to
numbers.
1616. Do you have any tattoos?
No.
You're gonna get one. 1616. You'll never forget. Okay. So, but now I've talked to enough people, music stars I listened to on the radio in the 90s, 2000s, and then you find out like just, oh, by the way, they just give you a big bank loan and then they collect and you're left with holding the Kish. Okay, I'm a little older than you, man. I grew up.
I remember Kish.
Yeah, Order from Chaos. I had him on. He's like, oh, that album you loved, Mike, that you bought at HMV, that you spun like crazy and you saw on Much Music all the time. I made $38 from that album.
Yeah, that's around the same.
Okay, that doesn't get you an Uber to the TMDS studios now. Right? No. So I guess I feel like there are, and again, I'm not going to name names or suggest this happened to you, but there's a lot of people who are preying on the vulnerable. Like people,
definitely,
kids like you who have a dream and you're watching Much Music and there's Boys to Men. And you're thinking, yeah, you're just sort of enamored with being a star. You're going to walk these red carpets. You're going to win a Grammy, all this stuff. And you're kind of easy pickings. Like you can sell that person a dream because they'll sign whatever to get that.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of how we found our managers. They said, oh, I know this person. I can do this for you. I can hook up this. I can hook up that. I got hookups at radio shows. And then when it comes down to it, that was all talk.
All talk. Not only that, but when they're referring somebody, they're getting a kickback. So it's all part of this ecosystem. Where
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
true. Yeah, they're getting
a
20%.
kickback. Yeah, and it's like everyone touches it. Now they get their share, and by the time the pie is gone around the table and it's time for the artist to eat, $38.
Yeah, and it's like that today, but it's even worse because we're talking about streaming.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. We might need a couple more hours for that convo.
Well, maybe this is a two-parter. Maybe you'll be back before TMLX, whatever, when you perform. And now that I heard you singing earlier, I'm glad my wife's not down here. I think I can't compete with that. Right? So
I'm a little hoarse this morning,
well,
so I maybe shouldn't have done that.
Okay, so but you get a record deal. You've got singles that are getting Canadian airplay. So is the goal to crack the U.S. market?
Yes, that was the goal.
And how did that go?
That we went backwards. So that song, You'll Never Find That you played, it broke in the US before it broke here. So we didn't even have our deal here yet. We had went to a music conference in New York and we didn't know what we were doing. Literally, we put a little package together. Right. We went and we heard Funkmaster Flex was going to be at this DJ competition at the Manhattan Center. We saw all the crew of them walking down towards the lobby wearing the Funkmaster Flex jackets. So we didn't know who to approach. We were approaching everyone like, yo, here's our demo. Listen to our demo.
Right.
And we met Funkmaster Flex's manager at the time. So I was talking to Funkmaster Flex like, you want us, you need us. We're the best group. Don't pass up this. Like we were so arrogant. It's crazy. If you pass this up, you're going to regret it type of thing. And Paul, who was watching me, who was talking to my boy Touch, was like, your boy there doesn't know you're supposed to be talking to me. I'm Flex's manager. That's how that song was released. So we had Flex sent us a couple of instrumentals after that trip. He sent us instrumentals to see what we could do.
Right.
We wrote You'll Never Find, sent it back, and he snapped and started playing it on Hot 97.
Okay. So it's getting airplay. As you know, especially back then, that this is pre-streaming. So when you hear a song on the radio, you're off to the record store to buy the CD.
Right.
So is there a CD to buy?
Yes. So no, at that point there isn't.
At that
It's
point, there's
just
no
it's
CD
just
to buy.
playing on
Okay.
radio in New York, and it started to spread through New Jersey, Boston. But they thought we were from the Bronx. In the song, we say, "I was at 233rd and White Plains," which is a place in the Bronx.
Right.
So they thought we were all from the Bronx. So when we go do shows, they'd expect us. At first, they thought we were a bunch of Latin kids from the Bronx. I don't know where that came from, but that's what they thought. A lot of people told us that. And when they met us and they found out we were from Toronto, it was such a big surprise. But we said we had family. That's where we stayed when we were in the Bronx. So that's where those lyrics came from.
Do you know the origin story of how Maestro got his U.S. record deal?
I've heard a couple things, but I'm not.
All right, well, I'll do it quick. The long version.
Yeah.
You got to tune into Toronto Mike for all this long story stuff. But he's on Electric Circus at
Okay.
299 Queen,
Mm-hmm.
and Stevie B is performing. And
Wow.
Stevie B basically, I guess it's LMR was the name of the label, I think. But Stevie B basically connected Maestro to LMR because he liked what he heard, basically.
Wow.
So there you go. So
Wow.
and
I was a huge Maestro fan, by the way.
You know what? I just read today he's getting recognized by some Canadian songwriter or some official organization.
Yes.
He was on some press release I was reading today.
Yes,
Good for
we
him,
should
man.
get
He's
it
out
all.
in the Maritimes now.
Yeah. Yeah. We were on his Quintessential Love. We were on I don't remember which album it was, though.
He's a good guy, but he works
Good dude.
hard. Like he's
Yes.
he's he doesn't lay back and rest on his laurels. That guy's always working.
Yeah, he's always moving and shaking. Definitely.
Okay, much love for Maestro.
Yes.
And so maybe we should address why it does end eventually for In Essence. Like I mean,
Yeah.
look, I know, and again, we're kind of doing a whole like yada 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 and
Yeah,
it
we're kinda
ended
all
or
over the
whatever.
place. It's
If
okay.
you know, you can nail no, but if you wanted to highlight some of the highlights or lowlights or both along the way, I don't mean to surmise the whole In Essence, because
No,
again,
definitely
like my
not.
wife when Sean came over. My wife and I didn't miss, but I was like a grunge guy. I was kind of off in another world. Like I was kind of in, my wife, she was into Jodeci and all this. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, I was at the Phoenix and we were headbanging to Soundgarden or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I just was in a different world or
Yeah.
whatever. But please, what are the highlights? What are the lowlights? And why does it end for In Essence?
The highlights, we got to tour Europe. You'll Never Find as a single launched our career, and it's still to this day a R&B classic. So the fact that we can be mentioned in that conversation I'll take that to the grave, and I'm still very, very proud of that. We opened for so many huge artists, Sean Paul, 112, Jagged Edge, Usher. We've got to see things that I think I don't think there's any other group from Canada, R&B group, that has done what we've done, and I hold tightly to that.
I'm trying to think of one. I think you're right. I think
There isn't.
you've gone through the Rolodex.
There's no other group. We are the iconic pioneer group, and if I sound arrogant saying that, that's
No, I mean,
okay,
if you don't-
because I'm proud of it.
You should who else is going to do that, right? Like
Exactly.
that's what you're here for.
Canadians, if we don't toot our own horn, no one else will. That's Canada.
I just 2 days ago I had on he's an MP from up north, Timmins Timmins James Bay. His name is Charlie Angus, and he dropped by Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an active MP, right? So I needed somebody to we need to be more like stand up when we hear these jokes, or they're not, I don't even think
Yeah.
they're jokes, but when Donald Trump talks about 51st state, that's some insulting shit right there.
Yeah.
Like that's highly offensive to this guy here born in Parkdale. Like back the fuck off with that rhetoric. That's
Yeah.
not funny. Like if you want this country, you're going to have to send the military in.
Yeah, have some balls.
Because we're
Have some
never
balls.
going to. I feel like it's Star Wars. We're never going to join you through economic pressure or some desire, I don't know, to spend more time in Vegas or have more value to the money or cheaper eggs or whatever. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pisses
straight
me
up.
off.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that'll be the next episode. We're going to talk about this
Yes.
here. Okay. So,
Marjorie can lead that one. She can.
oh, for sure. I wasn't even going to invite you. Are you kidding me? You don't need him here.
No, she doesn't.
That's fine. So, you're in Europe, which is amazing.
Yeah, so we toured Europe. The single was actually bigger in Germany than it was anywhere else. I think In Essence could reunite right now and go back to Germany because
Well, have you thought of doing that?
Well, you know what? Like
Like David Hasselhoff?
we can segue. So we had a reunion performance that happened in 2022, and I always thought if we were to get back together, something big would have had to happen for us to get back together, and that's what it was. Drake personally requested for us to come back for the North Star show that he did.
I had a buddy who was there. I actually wish I was there.
It was amazing.
This is with you guys. Sean Desmond's there. Mishy Me shows up.
Yeah, Mishy Me, Cardi, Rascals.
Wow.
Melanie Durant. Oh my goodness! Like the list goes on.
Was Socrates there?
Frank and Dank. Socrates was there.
Okay, because
Chaos
he's
was
here next
there.
week. So shout out to Socrates.
Oh, shout out to Socrates. I love that guy too. Tell him I say what's up.
Chaos. You know, Chaos. I've been trying to get him on Toronto Mic for like 10 years now.
Chaos. I love this guy too, and
But
everyone
just a little
killed
bit
it.
of a weirdo, right?
A little bit, yes.
Which no,
yes, and that's his character.
I like that.
Yes.
But it explains why I haven't been able to get him down here
Exactly.
yet.
But so that's what kind of brought us together. I got a call from starting from scratch.
Yeah.
He called me personally. He's like, Drew, can you? This was how many days before the show? This was maybe a week before
And
the
this is
show.
that history, right?
This is that history. This is a week before the show.
Okay.
Touch, one of the members, is in Dubai at this time. Right. We hadn't performed together in 16 years.
Wow.
And I always thought if we're going to do this, we got to get choreography. We got to get styled. We got to look like money. We got to kill this.
Yeah, you can't just walk into Moores and rent some suits or whatever, right?
No, like we had to do this. So I kind of had some pushback when it came to the rest of the group about like learning choreography and how's Touch going to learn it in Dubai. We have to send him video of the choreography. And,
Right.
But we did it. And I really feel happy that there was closure. There was a nice end, to In Essence. And I feel like Drake gave us our flowers, and it was just backstage. There was so much love backstage amongst all the artists. Like coming up, we were all against each other, right? The Caribbean community isn't very tightly. We're all against each other. We're all trying to beat each other.
Wait, countries in the Caribbean are like at odds with each other?
No, it's
competitive,
just we'll step on each other to move up. It's
crabs in the bucket.
Crabs in the bucket. That was the concept.
Jeez.
That is the
full
concept,
circle.
right? So back then, we all hated each other.
Okay.
So now being backstage, there was just so much love. Like we all really appreciated what all of our careers and what we did back in the day. And we're all like, it was such a different energy. It was beautiful. And Drake, like,
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, after we performed, Drake came and hugged us. He's like, you guys got me emotional, bro. Like he was so genuinely appreciative of the music and the artists that influenced him coming up. So that was like a nice way to end off the story of In Essence. But to say how we actually stopped was BMG dropped their whole urban roster, which was us, Keisha Shante, Ghetto Concept. We all got dropped at the same time. They dropped us all, and we didn't see it coming.
But why?
I don't know if it was budget cuts. Maybe they just, I don't know. And this was after we won the Juno. We were literally preparing our second album when they pulled the rug.
I think I might have said this to Sean when he was on the summer, but if you win a Grammy, it kickstarts your career. You win a fucking Juno and they pull the plug.
Yes. It's almost like the curse of winning the Juno. It's true.
It's like it goes back to, stand up, be proud of what is Canada, like stand up and push back when the incoming president of the United States jokes about annexing your country and taking away your sovereignty, please. But I think in this country we tend to eat our young, which is why when you look at who are the big artists we produced, they all ended up going south.
Yes, and if they didn't go south, their careers ended. Right? It's just the truth.
Or it was a constant hustle like Maestro Fresh West, who did go to New York, but he came back quickly, pretty quick. And now he's proudly kind of staying here.
Yes.
But he works hard.
Oh my goodness.
He can't just sit back and say, I'm Maestro.
No.
Send me the deals and I'll sign them.
No, it's definitely a different day. But he's putting in the work. So that was when we got dropped, and it's funny because we got dropped, and right after we got dropped, we got a Germany tour. So we were on the road with so much tension, and just we were all kind of worried about when we get home, what's next? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I had a little daughter at the time, and I knew I wanted to make a solo movement But I'm like I said, I grew up a shy kid. I was terrified of having a solo career, but I knew I had to do something. So it was after that trip when we came back was when I started recording solo. They didn't know, but
Is this the one?
the album, The One, yes.
The one, which is a great album.
Thank you.
And I mean, obviously when I had you in the calendar, what happens is I start playing your music
Yeah, I
and
can
I'm into it,
imagine.
and it's just a cycle, right? So
Yeah.
you know, your boy Drew, it's been
Yeah.
going on in here. But like, let's play a little bit. I mean, I could play the title track, but actually, I'm going to play this one here because this one to me is a banger of its time, and
Okay.
it still sounds great. Here we
Okay,
go.
so Hey. Yeah, we did this in LA.
It's true. It's true. It's how we do it.
This is how we do. I can't quite do it.
Go. Baby girl, your
Body's calling.
really like the way you put it down, 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 down.
Whoa.
The way you move so hypnotizing. The way
Hey,
you got that
hey.
booty moving round, 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 round,
This was very Usher inspired.
You got my interest.
Like I said, it is of its time. Like there was a bunch of hits that had similar vibe or whatever,
Yes.
but this was absolutely like you hear it now. If you were listening to any Top 40 radio or whatever, you heard this song. You know this song. When does your wife enter your life?
Oh, that's another hour for that maybe. I met her in high school.
Okay, I'm just trying to see how far back she goes. Okay, you got in early. Smart.
Well, we weren't together in high school.
Okay.
We didn't actually get together till
You sure you don't want on that mic? I feel like you have
we
something
may
to
have
say.
to bring her on the mic.
I can look here. It's actually unmuted.
Come,
Just
come.
get in front of that thing. Hold on. Breaking news here. Yeah, bring it down, but bring down the.
She
the
looks
whole-
young,
the
but she's
whole
not that
case.
young.
Okay, what's going on here? Hold on. This is exciting.
Like,
Oh yeah, you're stuck on a rug there.
Yeah.
It's not a euphemism.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Tell me about
Ooh,
meeting
the music went down.
Drew. I know I'm bringing it down in the mix here. Let's hear you. Like, and also like I understand you meet, you know each other, but whenever whatever happens here, when it becomes romantic, you're now his wife. What's going on here?
Okay.
Put her on the spot.
Met him in high school. I actually met him through my little sister, whose best friend was his little sister.
Yeah.
So me picking up my little sister at kindergarten, I would see him sometimes pick up his little sister. So it was just looking at, but he was older than me. So I was
How many years we got here?
3.
3 years.
That's not okay.
Not bad, but when you're in grade 8 and he's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
grade 11 or 10 at
Yeah.
that time, I don't remember. It was a big deal. So I didn't really actually meet him personally until I was in grade 10. I was 15. We walked home together with one of his best friends. And I was trying to hook him up with my friend, and his friend was trying to get with me. So there was that kind of, high school stuff.
But why are you trying to hook him up with your best friend? You didn't dig him?
No, he looked like a snob. Every time I looked at him at
I was-
school, he was just with his headphones, his
Shy as
leg
hell.
up.
He acted like he was the shit. and
Yes,
he knew
yeah,
it.
yeah. I didn't want to say that on here, but
I was
yeah.
actually just really shy.
I
and
used to
played it
think,
off.
ugh, he's so snobby, that guy. Like, he's so snobby. So, fast forward years later, and I run into him one time at a Caravana party at where was it?
Government.
Government.
Okay. Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. Now it's
yes.
condos.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I know, right?
I used to love that place. Wait, we had a
I
bunch
used to
of
love that
RPM
place.
and
yeah.
Cool
yeah.
House.
Yeah,
Cool House, yeah. Orange Room.
Yep. But yeah, that's when I ran into him. I was 19 at that time.
Yeah, I was with
think.
In Essence already, and
And-
we
Yeah.
we were in the club. Sorry,
It's
I'm
okay,
cutting
it's
her
okay,
off. Go ahead,
it's
you tell
okay.
the story better than me.
And he was, I was looking for my girlfriend because she was dating one of the promoters, so she was all over the place. I was bored, and I'm walking up these stairs, and I see this guy sitting down, like kind of looking at his pager, and he looks at me, and he's like, he says my full name, my government name. That's how you know each other in high
That's
school.
how you know it's high school.
And I say
Right.
his full name, Andrew Grange. Oh, Marjorie Valencia. Oh. And that's how we connected. But, he was with In Essence. He was doing his thing. I was, kind of just finishing off. I had just finished college, so I was starting into my career. And we just became friends, friends.
At first, it was just friends.
Yeah, we'd visited for 3
Right.
years. We were just in and
Yeah.
out like friends. And then he moved on with his life. I moved on with mine. Fast forward maybe 7 to 10 years later.
long
Yeah,
time.
A long time.
And we reunited, and I was just ending a divorce, so it wasn't the right time. And he was kind of gathering his things together.
Yeah,
And
I
then-
was still living out there crazy, like
Crazy.
R&B singer.
And I wanted no part of
stupidness.
that. So I always, he knew me. He knows my family. He knows where I come from. And then fast forward a couple of years later again. And then we tried it out. And again, he was in his own world. So I kind of put my boundaries and I was like,
Told you need
we're
an extra hour for
gonna,
this.
we keep coming back to
This
each
is
other.
where, Drew, this is the good stuff right here. Are you kidding me?
No one knows this except our family,
Yeah.
like our people.
Here we go. Now everybody
Now
knows.
everybody
Everyone knows.
Public record now.
Yeah. And then, then I decided, you know what? Like, I don't want no part of this. And I guess someone must have hit him in the head or something happened throughout that 9.5 months. And then he hit me back just before Christmas.
Well,
and
maybe he
was-
got glasses or something or contacts.
Maybe.
He's like, look at this.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks that I kind of left her out there. Like it's for someone else to possibly like. I'm
Yeah.
like, are you dumb? Like, are you?
Someone's
going
gonna come up and scoop that
Yeah,
up. You know,
right.
you almost lost her once.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it didn't work out. But you were playing a fire there.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
kind of just I was on tour, the last tour in 2019, and I was stressed out because the tour was a train wreck. But throughout the tour, I was messaging her and talking to her, and kind of like we were communicating more. And I said, you know what, the tour ended in Cannes, France,
Oh, yeah.
for the music conference, Madame Music Conference.
And I happened to have vacation that week.
Yeah, she used to work at Air
I used to
Canada.
work
This
with
is only
Canada.
5 years ago, like 5
Yeah.
or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, 20.
right.
Okay.
So I asked her, I'm like, you know what, why don't you meet me in Cannes? I'm there for 4 nights.
That's a power move.
Oh,
Meet me
yeah.
in Cannes.
It was.
I'm writing that
And
down.
I-
Right?
You
It
know
was a
what?
power move, bro.
Meet me in
It definitely
Cannes.
was. It set the mood.
Wow.
It set the stage
did.
for our reunion. Like,
Yeah,
it
it
really,
did.
we were there for, it was 4 nights.
4 nights.
4 nights of just
bliss.
amazing.
Wow.
We reconnected, and
It
it
was
was like,
beautiful.
now Cannes is our spot. Cannes, I'm sorry, not Cannes.
Yeah,
Cannes.
no S.
I feel like
Yeah.
okay. I've heard both. I think it depends how pretentious you want to be, or whatever. But you learned that she's the one. You're the one.
Yes.
The one.
The one. Hey. Hey. Cheers.
Should I be recording this or what? This is just my personal pleasure. I bring couples in the basement and find out their origin story. Okay,
You have
so
a whole different podcast you could do.
you give me some ideas here. I think that's a good idea. So, wow. See, I'm glad I unmuted this microphone. The good stuff's in over here, and you got some good photos and video.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, are you like? I mean, I don't need to know your too many personal details here, but you help out Drew with his singing career.
As much as I
Big time.
possibly can, yes. Sometimes I'm exhausted and he'll be like, I'm trying to fall asleep and I just hear him mumbling, what do you think about this song? Oh, I was thinking this song might fit good in the list. Oh, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's good. I'll wake up to just hear him show me the song that he's thinking about and then I'll go right back to sleep. Because we kind of bounce ideas off each
That's
other.
good because you're
Yeah.
like it's a true partnership, right?
Definitely is.
Like, she's my business partner also in So Nostalgic. So
Yeah.
Lover, movie date, business partner, all in
best
one
friend,
package.
All of
everything.
it. Yeah, he's my best friend.
That's
There's
beautiful.
nothing that he doesn't know. So
Yeah.
Would you like this guy if he sang like I sing? Like how much of a?
let's hear you.
No, I'm not doing it. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I need to know this and stay on the mic. There, you can. When he gets facts wrong, you can step up there.
Yeah.
But Drew, as a solo artist, because
Yeah.
you go solo here, do you have any Junos?
no, I have about 4 nominations, but no win.
Okay, that's bullshit too. What do we got to do around here?
I
Okay,
don't
who
know.
keeps beating you? Is it? Is there anybody?
Well, you know what? My last nomination was I was in the company of The Weeknd.
That guy, that hack.
Yeah, that guy. I think it was Jesse Reyes.
Okay.
So I didn't feel
Some
bad about
heavyweights.
losing to be honest, I didn't feel bad about losing to these superstars. So
But you've also been nominated for Reggae Recording of the Year.
yes, yeah, for a song called Love Collision, we did a dance hall like lovers rock mix.
Yeah, the Lovers Rock Mix.
Yes, and that was completely unexpected. But hey, I got to go enjoy the Junos again, so
Amazing. And in
It worked out.
2015, Deja Vu got you another Juno nomination.
Yes, that was completely unexpected. I was completely independent at that time. I just sent in the submission and was shocked. That was the one that The Weeknd was in also.
Who is the PR person that works with you?
Sasha Schultz. Big up to Sasha Schultz, man. She's been with me for years and such a huge supporter in my career. So big love to Sasha.
I believe Sasha hooked me up with former Toronto Raptor AC Earl.
Oh, hooked you up. Oh, yeah. I believe
as a
it.
guest,
Yes,
okay?
yes. Okay.
He
just
wrote
had
a
to
book
clarify.
about like hip hop and like, because I'm a big like a super
Oh,
Public
yeah?
Enemy fan.
Okay.
In high school, I think half of my high school life had Public Enemy in the Walkman.
Nice.
It takes a nation. Don't act so surprised. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back, and Fear of a Black Planet particularly, but also
Nice.
Yo Bummer's the Show and Apocalypse 91, The Enemy
Yo
Strikes
Bummer's
Back.
the show. That's the one we have on the wall.
Yeah.
And that one's got time bombs on that, and I still drop lines from Time Bomb. Ask any of my 4 kids. Like I'll just randomly something will trigger a line from Time Bomb, and I'll just drop it.
Were you into Flavor Flav at all? Or?
Yeah, well, Flavor Flav, Cold Lampin', Can't Do Nothing For You, Man.
Yes.
Of course, 911 is a joke.
of
That was a
course.
big one from
Yeah.
Fear of a Black Planet. Okay,
Yeah.
I saw them at the what's that one by the docks? The Sound Academy.
Yes.
It's been renamed, I think, but
Yeah.
everything changes names.
I know.
But I saw this is the last time Flav played with Public Enemy in Canada
Oh, wow.
because I actually went. So Public Enemy Radio, which is Public Enemy
Right.
minus Flavor Flav. He had border issues.
Oh, gosh.
Couldn't come up and play. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, no one's surprised by that. Okay, but anyway, I saw Public Enemy, which by the way, Chuck D's amazing, but they really that Flav adds a lot to Public Enemy. Like
know what?
It's a whole different vibe.
On a side note, that music conference that in essence went to meet Funkmaster Flex, Chuck D got us in. Personally, we saw Chuck D. We're like, Chuck D. He got us passes. That's how we got into the music conference. Sorry.
you know what?
Sorry.
No, because that lets me pat myself on the back to tell
Yes.
you that Chuck D has been on Toronto Mic in
Oh,
person. Like
sick.
none of this Zoom bullshit. Okay.
Oh,
This
that's
is in
dope.
person.
That's-
And it was because I went to the C&E Grand Shell when Public Enemy Radio was playing.
Right. He's such a nice guy.
He's very like I even for Dru, I have to work through a PR person. That remind me to get back. Yeah, that's right. So I want to say hello to her, but I had to go through Sasha to
Yeah.
get to Dru. But to get Chuck D on Toronto Mic, I spoke to Chuck D.
Love it.
Isn't that
I believe you too.
Yeah, no. So okay,
Most laid back dude.
but I brought up Sasha because I just said, hey, is there a particular song you want me to play? Because I was doing my own research and stuff, and I had my In Essence, and I wanted to play the one, and I wanted to play what we played from the one, but I also got a song from Sasha. So let me play this and ask you about it, okay?
Yeah.
I know you've been through so much in your life, but girl, I'm here just to make it alright. Baby, I know you've been hurt times before, but girl, please tell me you won't close the door. I know you never really thought that you could be in love. I'll show, baby, don't fight how you feel. So don't be afraid of my love. Just let me hold you, yeah, girl. Oh, girl. Don't be afraid of my love. Don't be afraid. I won't desert you. Now you can be honest with your heart. Yeah. There is an ocean of tears that you've cried. Let me be the one to dry them from your eyes.
Drew, what is this, buddy?
This might be hard to believe.
Don't be afraid.
I'm out the game 'cause you're all
I won't be afraid, but what are we listening to here? What year did this come out?
This came out, oh my goodness, what year was this? 2016 or 2017? Something like that.
All right.
We shot a video for this in Vancouver. Very breezy, you know. It produced by Hollywood Pro, by the way, my producer. And yeah, that went crazy in Brazil. There's a dance called Zouk dance. It's kind of like, what can we compare it to? Like a bachata or, no, more salsa kind of. No? Anyway, yeah.
But this is the era when you're touring with Sean Paul.
Yes, so I was on tour with Sean Paul when the song came out.
More like Kizomba.
Kizomba, yes, that's right.
Okay, that's what she's here for.
Yes.
Okay. We don't know what we're talking about.
But yeah, this is my highest streamed single. I think we're almost at 3 million streams right now.
It's got that love-making vibe going on.
Yeah, you know, but there's like a zouk, a really sexy kind of
Like the
Brazilian
lambada?
dance.
Lambada?
It's
That's all I
yeah,
remember.
kind of like that.
I got thumbs up over there.
Yeah,
the
but
forbidden dance?
Yeah, kind of like that. But a lot of dancers would post their videos dancing in Brazil, and the song just took a life of its own. So yeah, don't be afraid.
You mentioned like a moment ago, just off the cuff, you said you had a terrible tour like in 2019.
Yes.
What happened? Like, what's that about?
Oh my goodness. It was a tour put together by a certain artist. I'll just leave his name out of it.
Can I get a clue?
It's an unknown artist. You may not know the artist.
Okay.
Yeah, and you know, I saw him post something. It's someone he was a big fan of Essence, and I saw that he was putting a tour together, and I really wanted to get out to Europe. So I hit him up, and he said there's a certain fees that you have to pay to get on the tour, and right. So I was like, okay, you know what? I got this new album coming out. I'm like, let's see what's up with this. Paid a big chunk to get on the tour, and by the end of the tour, after sharing what's the type of hotels called again?
Hostels.
Yeah, after sharing hostels, sharing hotel rooms, I'm like, at the end of the tour, closer to the end of the tour, I'm like, start asking the other artists, yo, how much did you guys pay to be on this tour? Zero. I funded the whole tour for everybody.
Oh my God. Drew. Okay, you know, I'm glad you're revealing.
I funded the
maybe we're going to warn
trying not
a young
curse right
artist
now.
who's going to be like, that's scam. I wonder, it's one of those things. When I was going to high school, I had a buddy who had a neighbor who was already at the high school, and he told me he said he could get me a deal on the elevator pass. And I remember he was telling me this. I was in grade 8, and he's telling me about this elevator pass. You're going to have to buy this elevator pass. He could get me a deal. And I never gave him a penny, but I was falling for it. Like,
Right.
oh, I better buy it from this guy because I don't want, save some cash next year when I got to buy the elevator pass at Power. Okay, there's no fucking elevator pass. Like, this is the kind of you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you were sold an elevator pass.
Yeah, I was sold an elevator pass, and I was very.
Yeah, that is a shitty tour.
Yeah, it was bad, and it basically we were in Poland.
Yeah.
Which, okay, just think about this routing. The last date of the tour was in Poland, and then we were supposed to go to Cannes for the next conference. I'm like, who did the routing for this tour? And they thought they were going to drive 30 hours. So I'm like,
but
nah.
good things happen in Cannes.
But amazing things happen in Cannes. But I ended up taking a flight. I made them
Right.
take my damn luggage
Right.
on their drive.
Right.
And me and Mo Little, shout out to Mo Littles, there was another artist on the tour. We caught a flight that was, I don't know, $150 or something. It was so cheap.
Wow.
And they had to bring our luggage. And
They
that
get some
was
cheap flights over there.
Yeah, and in Cannes, I had nothing to do with the people that put this tour together. I was on my own.
Well, have you ever heard it's worth the drive to Acton for the old White House? Like, I'd be like, it's worth the flight to Cannes.
Yes,
Right.
it was. It
Okay,
was.
write a song
definitely.
about that. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to close up with the Soul Nostalgic show that's turning 1, and we're going to revisit that here. But I am going to shout out a couple of partners who helped make this happen.
Yeah.
One sent over this measuring tape for you. Okay, man? I don't need to know the details. Measure what you wish, but that is a measuring tape courtesy of Ridley Funeral Home. Ridley Funeral Home, my next recording, actually. So
That's about right.
we're in overtime, but it's worth it. I had to get the ongoing history of Drew here. So thank you, Ridley Funeral Home. Life's Undertaking. We're recording a new episode today. So subscribe to Life's Undertaking wherever you get your podcasts. Speaking of podcasts, Drew, hey,
Yes.
do you have a podcast?
I do not.
You're the last one standing.
I know.
Okay.
I know. I've been thinking about it, though.
Well, let me know when you're ready. Okay.
Yeah, let me know. We could do something.
Nick Iones, who is the CEO of Fusion Corp Developments, Inc., he has a new podcast. It's called Building Toronto's Skyline. He also has a book, Building Toronto's Skyline. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to get Nick down here and we're going to peel the layers of that onion. I find this guy fascinating, and he stepped up to help partner with Toronto Mike to keep this going. So
Nice.
we love Nick Iones and Fusion Corp Developments, Inc., And last but not least, recyclemyelectronics.ca. If you guys have a drawer full of old cables, maybe old laptops you haven't booted up in 12, 15 years, I don't know, you've got some old tech, don't throw it in the garbage because those chemicals end up in our landfill. Go to recyclemyelectronics.ca and put in your postal code and find out where you can drop that off to be properly recycled. You got it, Drew?
Got it.
All right. So what happened a year ago that you decided you're going to do this residency? And again, you told me it was at the Aqua Supper Club. And
yes.
What we're promoting today is the 1-year anniversary is at Joker's Theater in Richmond Hill.
Yes.
But what was the idea behind this residency and how's it going? And then what's going on exactly on February 14, 2025?
This is amazing, man. Like, we've been talking about streaming and putting out music and how the industry is, kind of in a weird place. I wanted to find a lane for myself, I still love the era of the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and I think a lot of people do. But, myself and my wife, we're trying to find a place, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago that we could go get dressed up, have a dinner and watch a show of songs that, from our era.
Right.
The New Jack Swing stuff, the Boyz II Men stuff, the, Jodeci, Luther Vandross, Earth, Wind and Fire, the list goes on from the 70s to the early 2000s. There's so much music.
Right.
And we couldn't find one, and that's when the wheels started moving in my head like, we could do something cool. I've seen some different ensembles that do throwback shows, but I've never seen it quite like the way we do it. I was thinking, if we kind of dress it up, give it a little Vegas kind of flair, a high end feel, if to make people want to dress up, to make, women want to go get that high end gown and feel, beautiful and sexy and hear songs from their era. So that's where it sparked. And there was a Justin Timberlake video, Suit and Tie, right? The black and white video. And that's when it hit me like a ton of bricks because I was trying to figure out how should we be dressed? What's the outfits? At first I thought we should wear like throwback BBD outfits. And I was like, no, that's not going to work. And I saw the Suit and Tie video came on. And my wife was in the bathroom or something. I'm like, that's it. That's it. Tuxedos. She's like,
And I came out like,
she's like, what?
She's like, why? And you're like,
I'm like,
Maestro
black
Fresh West was doing that in the 80s.
Exactly. I'm like, black and white tuxedos. We should all be in tuxedos. And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I'm like, yeah, you don't like the Rat Pack, like old Vegas.
Yeah, like swingers and all this.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
like on this high end kind of vibe. I'm
Even
like,
Reservoir Dogs or like Pulp Fiction, all the hitmen wore the...
right? The black and white.
I dig that vibe.
And so that's kind of when it kind of came together. But I'm like, okay, so if we do this era of music, we got to have choreography. Every band has just the band and a singer and they do covers and it's cool. But if I'm going to do, Usher, You Don't Have to Call, I got to do the choreography with the dancers and the band's got to be on point. It's got to be that on that level. So that's where it started. I'm like, but I need a band. I'm like, oh my goodness, can I afford to pay players, high-end players, rehearsals? I'm like, I can't afford. I didn't think I could do it. Honestly, I didn't think I could. I'm like, I can't afford to do this right now. So I thought, okay, let me take one step. Let me shoot a commercial of what I want to do. In a perfect world, this is what I want to do. And I invited a band that I was such a big fan of that I didn't really know if I'd be able to get them, called The Recipe. Shout out to The Recipe. Love The Recipe. Shout out to Big O, who connected me to The Recipe. He was their lead singer at the time, or he's still their lead singer. But they're just an amazing band. So I had tried to schedule this whole commercial shoot, right? I didn't know if they were going to be able to make it. We were like, I literally almost had a nervous breakdown, I think, the day before we shot, because I'm like, okay, we're taking money out of our savings right now to do this, as in book a whole rehearsal studio, right, with lighting and everything. I hired a director. I brought in extras. We had the dancers. It was the whole thing. We shot it. They actually showed up. The Recipe showed up. Shout out to Juju for wrangling everyone together. They showed up for the shoot. It was on the set of the shoot. I told them, I'm like, you guys are the best band I've ever heard in Canada. You guys deserve more. I'm like, let's do something crazy. And I pitched the idea to them literally on the set of that commercial shoot. And they were a little, at first they were like, because I'm very animated, I'm very determined when I want something. So they're kind of like, they were feeling my energy, and it's like, yo, Drew's serious about this. And they're, you know, they know the career I've had, you know, and I don't know, I guess I convinced them. We shot the commercial. I started posting little pictures from the commercial shoot. And an old friend of mine on Instagram.
Okay.
And an old friend of mine was like while I was waiting for the edit of the commercial, I was like just posting stills from the shoot, like in black and white, tuxedos. You see the band, the lights. People are wondering what are you working on? What is this? Just off of the post. That's how I knew even then that I had something interesting. And my boy from high school was like, yo, what is this? Because I know a venue that's looking for something like this. Even though he didn't even know what it was.
Right.
He didn't even know what it was yet. He's like, this looks cool. What is this? When I explained it, he's like, okay, now we got to go meet with Moses at Aqua. I'm like, what is Aqua? I've never even heard of this place. Where is this place? And he said, it's this spot on the exhibition grounds, newly renovated. It's this cool, modern spot. Went and met with Moses. I pitched the idea to him, and he was like, yeah, we need this here. We need this here. The business, we had to kind of work out the business of it, which I wasn't necessarily most happy with starting, but I knew I was happy with having a location to launch this and to show everyone what this is. And that's why I'm just so grateful to Aqua. We had a year of a monthly, you know, once a month show where, just to explain what the show is.
Sure.
It's an immersive R&B throwback experience. Where we have choreographed dancing. I dance with the dancers, 2 25-year-old dancers. I'm dancing with them. You know, me and the band will come down off the stage. So it's myself, the 2 dancers, a saxophone player, bass player. We'll come off the stage. We'll go in front of your table. We'll blow in the sax in your face. Choreography right in front of your table. It's very immersive.
Right.
And that's kind of what separates us in a way. I knew I wanted a tuxedo, kind of high-end look, Vegas feel, but immersive, so people really felt they were a part of the show. And I realized that the age demographic, say 45 to 60, say 65 even. We celebrated a birthday for a woman that was 74, one of the other shows, and that was amazing too. That demographic has nowhere to go for something like this.
Right.
And over the year, we've realized, wow, this audience really will prepare and say, okay, this is my one day out the month.
Yeah.
Me and my husband are going to
get dressed up.
Get dressed up. We schedule this every month, and we went from 60, 70 people the first couple of shows till we started selling out. The last from the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, they just started selling out.
Good for you.
You know, so now moving on, big love to Aqua, but we wanted to get out the city. We wanted to move uptown. We've been downtown for a year. So we wanted to move uptown. I was looking for a location. Luckily, shout out to Eddie, by the way, who hooked us up with Joker's Theater and Comedy Club, man. Oh, my goodness, this spot.
No, FOTM Carla Collins just played Jokers.
Okay.
Just a small world story there. But,
yeah, and they get high-end comedians. They're really doing their thing, man. So... Big shout out to Jokers.
So you did a year at the Aqua Supper Club there.
Yes.
And are you going, how regularly will you be playing at Jokers?
Well, so we don't know yet.
Okay.
So
but you got the Valentine's Day is the big 1 year anniversary bash.
So yeah,
wow.
I just feel grateful that we get to celebrate the 1 year. And it's a possibility. We're going to see how we move forward. We're still definitely going to be at Aqua's. So people check StoneStars.com.
You're not done with Aqua's.
No, we're definitely not done at Aqua's. We just wanted to kind of branch out and build the brand. So big shout out to Aqua. We'll definitely be back. We will let you know when we're back there. But right now we're going to be at Jokers for Valentine's Day.
Quiet Storm.
A
love story. Valentine's Day edition.
Yes, sir.
I love that you're, cutting out that layer of bullshit that is, that those anchors have been shed. Like this. I'm hoping that you're kind of doing it yourself.
Yeah, I am.
Rolling your own, man.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing to take control of everything. Like I'm in 100% in control of Soul Nostalgic, and from the website to the ticket sales to everything, I'm in complete control, and it's a sense of freedom. I've never been here before. This is new. This is new for me.
Well, this is where you belong.
Yes.
This is where I live, man. I just don't put on a tux. So
I love it.
Am I allowed to come to this event if I wear a T-shirt?
Maybe I'll let it slide. But
Dress
we're
codes,
pretty strict.
I'm allergic to dress codes. Okay. Okay. But it's funny. We mentioned Sasha earlier, and
Yes.
here's a line delivered to me by Sasha. Okay. Buckle up here.
I love her.
Secure your tickets now for a night filled with soulful melodies and a Vegas-style extravaganza you won't forget. And see why Dru is dubbed the Prince of R&B. Who dubbed you the Prince of R&B? Did you anoint yourself the Prince of R&B?
I anointed myself. Yes, I did. Because like I said, if you don't toot your own horn in Canada,
because I'm like getting this thing.
nobody
It's
else
like,
will.
but it's one of those things where it's like I read this and I'm like, oh, is Dru the Prince of R&B? Like maybe I'm kind of like I love my hip hop and I love my grunge and my '90s Canadian alt rock. Okay, I'm listening to Rusty over here, so maybe I just missed this.
Right.
Dru's the Prince of R&B, and then as the week went on, it just became a fact in my head. It's like, oh, Dru. Oh yeah, the Prince of R&B.
That's right.
See how it works?
See how it works? Exactly.
And then because I want to fucking take the citizenship away from this Kevin O'Leary from Dragon's Den or
Oh, my
whatever.
goodness.
But he decided one day he was Mr. Wonderful. Fuck this guy. He's not Mr. Wonderful. But I was once on a podcast. This is a few years ago. I'm on a podcast, another podcast. And they introduced me by saying I was the godfather of Canadian podcasting.
Hey.
Okay? And I heard this and I said,
love it.
that smells like bullshit. I'm going to go to my LinkedIn page and change the name Toronto Mike, godfather of Canadian
That's
podcasting.
right.
And honestly, I've been called that multiple times
see?
because I just decided, like I'm going to just say that and see if it catches on.
Same
And I'm
thing.
saying this now. I am the godfather of Canadian podcasting. I am saying that to the Prince of R&B,
That's right.
Dru.
That's right. Actually, segue.
Okay, segue.
I brought you a gift.
Okay, oh my God, I love this. That's a T-shirt. Can I wear that? What if I wear that T-shirt to your event?
This,
Your
yes.
wife is saying yes. Okay, so I'm gonna put it on for the photo we're gonna take by Toronto Tree.
Love it.
Oh, you can go on the mic and say that. Like,
What size did you
Oh,
bring him?
Large. No,
okay,
medium.
I am.
Okay.
As you can tell,
Good.
I'm a medium.
Did you see?
T-shirt.
I was
Perfect.
right.
You were right.
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
right.
right.
I am a medium. I don't know if I should be proud of that or embarrassed by that. It's like, what size are you? A medium. It's like, just mumble it under my
That's a
breath
good
here. I don't know. It could be worse here. And you're in good shape too.
Thank you.
I do have a few years on you, but I noticed a bunch of people in our demo lately, a bunch of dudes have been growing this belly. Like,
I'm not trying to
you're
do that.
dancing, you're working out. There's no, like, how would your wife feel if he grew the
No
the big
matter what he
belly.
has, I still love him. So it doesn't matter.
that is absolutely true love. Dru, you got to come back, buddy.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
do.
we're just scratching the surface here.
Yes, there's a lot more we could get into. That's for sure.
I did want to ask you, so in the Drake show when everybody got reunited, and that seemed like a big moment, like a closure for In Essence, but it sort of was a rebirth for Sean Desmond. Like, I
Yes.
feel like he took that as like, oh, I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
Any conversation? I know one guy's in Dubai or something like that, but I don't know. I just had another member of In Essence here in the basement fairly recently. Like,
What did he say about that when you asked him?
I can't remember.
That says a lot. That says a lot.
I got you right there.
Yep.
Okay. Because I'm now thinking maybe I should put this together and I'll be the manager. I'll be the Jake Gold of In Essence.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
reunion. I won't screw you over.
No?
I'll just take my 60% and then we'll go from there. Okay, everybody,
That's fair.
soulnostalgic.com. That's where you go to buy these tickets. Again,
Yes.
it's Valentine's Day, so you can remember the date. But I am not too concerned, but the show's 10:30. I get sleepy at 11, but this show is going to wake me up, right?
The show, oh, definitely. You will not be able to fall asleep. Doors open at 9:30. DJ Rockstar starts the vibe with the throwbacks. It's a completely, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s throwback event. So the DJ
Do you play any
spinning
Jagged
it.
Edge?
Of course. There's Jagged
That's
Edge.
my wife's favorite band of all time.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, the DJ will be playing Jagged Edge.
Okay, the DJ.
But we got some Boys to Men. We got some Jodeci. We got some Whispers.
Lots
we
of
got,
Dru.
We got some Dru, definitely. You know, I won't give away too much, but if you love R&B and soul and throwbacks, New Jack Swing, high energy, love ballads. You know, it's not just for couples, but it's also for just people that want to come have an amazing night.
It's a love story.
And it's the love story. Actually, the whole Quiet Storm concept, real quick. Shout out to WBLK, Buffalo, the Quiet Storm. That was the station where I learned a lot of these love songs. So that's why I kind of giving a tribute to WBLK, Quiet Storm.
And that brings us to the end of our 1616th show.
Yeah.
Go to torontomike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. I'm very active on Blue Sky at torontomike.com on Blue Sky. Much love to all who made this possible. Again, that's Great Lakes Brewery. I gotta say, my burst was delicious, and you guys enjoyed your lagers.
Amazing.
Okay, you're gonna bring this beer home with you.
Oh, definitely.
Some for the... Don't drink it on the road. Drink it when you get home, okay? But you can take it home on the road with you, okay? Palma Pasta, don't leave without your lasagna. I know your wife's a big fan of Palma Pasta.
Yes.
RecycleMyElectronics.ca, Building Toronto Skyline, and Ridley Funeral Home. Recording with Brad very soon. See you all next week.